Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, Bitcoin is facing a dangerous technical that has the potential to cause a major correction on Bitcoin moving into the coming days. That technical is, of course, one that we've talked about quite a lot here on the channel recently, the MACD on the daily chart. This bearish MACD cross is coming at a very interesting time on Bitcoin because most of the technicals on Bitcoin are pointing bullish. In fact, as I talked about in yesterday's video, we're seeing two golden crosses today. So guys, in today's video, we're going to be discussing this bearish MACD cross and the couple $100 correction that we saw happen on Bitcoin last night from around $9,300 to around $9,100 and discussing whether or not the uptrend on Bitcoin is over or if this is going to cause a small correction, a major crash. We're going to be discussing all of that and hopefully coming to a conclusion at the end of the video as to whether or not this is going to be an important deciding factor on whether or not Bitcoin is able to continue the rally. If you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. But before we dive on into it, I do first want to mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. As you guys know, we just started the February 2020 sale. That will be running through Friday. If you guys want to get access to CT2A and learn everything you need to know about trading cryptocurrency, the link is in the description down below. But anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. All right, guys, I want to make one thing very clear here at the outset of the video. The vast majority of the cryptocurrency technical landscape is significantly bullish. I mean, we have a bullish MACD cross out here on the weekly. We have the RSI looking to be in pretty healthy territory down here on the daily. For goodness sake, we have two golden crosses happening at the exact same time. The technical landscape on Bitcoin looks pretty healthy right now. I think you would all agree. Bitcoin's above all of its crucial moving averages. Resistance is really just kind of this VPVR zone. I mean, it doesn't seem on the surface like we have much to really worry about here. But I do want to pose something to you. Where is the bullishness coming from? Think about that for a second. Where is the buying pressure coming from? That is a very important question in technical analysis, and we're going to be discussing that here in a minute because I didn't mention in the intro, we have some news we need to get to as well. And in that news, we're going to be discussing this concept even more. But guys, you need to understand that when a bull market forms, there has to be bulls. When a bear market forms, there has to be bears. If Bitcoin is going to rally, there have to be buyers. If it's going to have a crash, there have to be sellers. Why am I saying that? That seems mundane. But a lot of people forget that for a bull market to form and start and continue, you need liquidity coming into the space. You need volume. Look at the volume over the last couple of weeks. It hasn't actually been significantly higher than what it was during the correction. We haven't seen explosive volume. We haven't seen explosive gains. We have not seen enough bulls come back into the space, quite frankly, which is why, in my opinion, we're having this little bit of a correction right here, and why I think that MACD cross just happened. Of course, the MACD cross happened because Bitcoin had several red days here, but the reason that Bitcoin hasn't rallied even farther and that we've been trading sideways for over a week is very simple. Where are the buyers? Where are they? I know a lot of you guys are bullish, but I've seen in polls that you guys are starting to get less and less and less bullish. And even though all those technicals are bullish, even though I'm still bullish, because those technicals are bullish, and it would make a lot of sense for Bitcoin to go into a bull market, we do need to seriously ask ourselves the question, where are the bulls? Where's the buying pressure coming from? How is Bitcoin going to rally? What are the fundamental market forces that are going to drive Bitcoin to the upside? Because you guys have to realize something, technicals don't actually have any power over the market. People forget this. Technical analysis is valid and useful and very, very important, but it doesn't actually have any kind of influence on the market. The reason the technicals are important is because people trade by them. But if there's no one buying based on bullish signals, they don't actually matter. What matters at the end of the day is money coming in and leaving the space. Those are inflows and outflows. We're going to be discussing that here in a second with one of our whale friends over on Twitter. And quite frankly, guys, even though volume has been kind of a little bit higher than it was back in November and December, it's not much higher. Even though volume over on the leverage exchanges has been higher, it's not much higher. Quite frankly, guys, Bitcoin had a major run-up in the first half of 2019, but where's the buying pressure now that's going to cause that to happen again? Well, that's an interesting question. It's one that we're going to talk about in coming videos because I don't think that we're doomed or anything. I don't think that the Bitcoin rally is over necessarily. I'm just saying that we do need to make sure to watch our inflows and outflows, and the inflow of valuation into the cryptocurrency space doesn't seem to be as strong right now as I would like it to be. So that is why I'm concerned about this bearish MACD cross. Here's what I think is probably going to happen. Bitcoin is the 20 EMA and the 200 daily simple moving average under it, sitting right around $8,900. I've got a feeling that this bearish MACD cross is going to push us down to this level of support. There are three levels of support converging almost perfectly, as you guys in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy will know. That's called the convergence of support and resistance. We've talked about that in videos over there. That means that this is some very strong support. The bulls don't seem to be terribly strong right now, but quite frankly, the bears don't seem to be that strong either, so hopefully that'll hold. That's what I think is going to happen. Bitcoin's going to pull down to $8,900, which is fine. That's healthy. You know, Bitcoin needs to have a correction with all the rallying that's had, and considering how weak the bulls are right now, considering how strong they should be, it's perfectly fine for Bitcoin to have a little bit of a correction right now. No foul there. But there are a few things that do concern me. Let's go over here to some news real quick. Bitcoin hits weekly low as fears of a $37 million dump grow. And I'm not really one to worry too much about what the whales are doing because people overestimate the power that whales have. I mean, you need hundreds of millions of dollars to really make a significant impact on the Bitcoin markets. But considering Bitcoin is getting very close to some very important support, because if Bitcoin falls below this support right here, you understand the downtrend could be significantly larger because that is where almost all of the support is right now until we get back down to 8K. So I want to talk about this. 4,000 Bitcoin on sale. The United States Marshal Service on Monday announced that it's going to be auctioning around 4,000 Bitcoin, around $37 million on February 18th. The announcement led analysts to consider that the trading would lead to a dump. Of course, as you can see, this is something that Sonny talked about over in his channel. As you guys know, sometimes drug money and other criminal money gets seized, and sometimes that money is in the form of Bitcoin, and as far as I'm aware, that's what's going on right now. One thing I will say is that this story, they'd probably be selling this on an over-the-counter market, but if this does get sold on exchange, that is a pretty large amount of selling pressure. I'm not convinced that it's actually going to have a very big impact on the cryptocurrency market. Like I said, people overblow the impact of whales because $37 million sounds like a lot. It's really not in the grand scheme of things. But if a sale order like that were to happen right when Bitcoin was testing the support, then it might be important. So I would encourage you guys to keep an eye on that story moving into the next few days. But finally, I want to wrap up everything that we've talked about in today's video with this news story right here. This highly influential Bitcoin whale has just issued a warning to crypto traders, and he's talking about the exact same thing that I was talking about. I already planned to talk about this, and then I see this article, and I'm like, well, this guy just made $20 million in December from trading, and he agrees with me. Kind of makes me wonder if I'm right. A closely watched Bitcoin whale is not convinced that Bitcoin is on the verge of a new long-term bull run. The anonymous whale, known in the industry as Joe007, you guys have probably heard of him before, was the top trader on Bitfinex over the last 2 months, reaping a combined $20 million in realized profits from December through January. Someone on Twitter said to him, "Are you ready to be one with the trend once eventually the range breaks and Bitcoin does what it always does when it goes full bull?" Joe responded by saying trends don't magically happen. They are based on supply and demand imbalances and backed by fiat in and outflows. Anyone who doesn't understand this and sees Bitcoin as some black box that magically does what it does has no business trading. And he's absolutely right. This is something I've tried to stress to you guys on the channel, and I'm going to make a bigger point out of it in the future because bull markets don't come from nowhere. They don't actually come from technicals. Where Bitcoin bull markets come from are people seeing the technicals and buying Bitcoin. But if a lot of people don't see the technicals because the news coverage has not been sufficient, they just don't know about them, or cryptocurrencies just got a bad name at the time, whatever the case may be, if people are not making trades based on the technicals, if people are not buying based on those bullish technicals, they're not actually that important. That's why when we talk about the strength of technical analysis, we talk about what are the technicals that the vast majority of people are looking at, and what does the history of that technical show. That's how you gauge the strength of a technical indicator. That's something we talk about in CT2A also. Because the more people that see it, and the better and more accurate the history of that technical is, the more people are going to place trades based on that technical indicator. Why is that important? The reason it's important is because people have to place those trades for Bitcoin to rally. It seems simple, but people always forget it, so please don't. A problem that we're seeing in the cryptocurrency space right now is not as simple as a bearish MACD cross on the daily chart, okay? It's a problem of inflows. It's a problem of valuation. It's a problem of liquidity. It's a problem of money. Plain and simple. So guys, moving into the rest of this week, I want you to think about how much value is moving into the space, how much volume is moving into the space, how much institutional and retail interest that would not normally be in cryptocurrency, because small rallies that we've seen over the last 50 days or so, they can happen from just the money that's already and always going to be in the space. But to have a bull run and a bull market form, you need outside investment. Are we having that? Well, guys, I really don't know, because if we look over here on Bakkt, you can see the volume for a February contract is sitting at 764 Bitcoin, when back in December, we were seeing 3,000 Bitcoin. The institutions don't seem to be in Bitcoin right now. Now, I am not trying to spread FUD. I am not trying to get you guys to FUD out of your positions and take a major 100x short position. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that for Bitcoin to continue this rally and turn it into a sustained and long-term bull market, we need to see more interest in the space because we need to see more money in the space. So keep an eye on that metric. I guarantee you it is the most important one to look at right now, even more important than the technical analysis, which is still very important, but the flow of money in and out of the space is what we need to be keeping our eyes on. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. But before we go, I do first want to hit a poll up there in the top right, and I want to ask you guys, are you feeling bullish on Bitcoin for the month of February? Are you feeling bullish or bearish? By February 28th, you think Bitcoin's going to be higher or lower than it is now? Put it that way. Let me know in the poll in the top right. And also, guys, before we go, I do first want to mention the sale on CT2A. As you guys will know, right now you can get CT2A for $40 off using the February 2020 code. Guys, there are 34 videos and 10 hours of high-quality content herein. If you want to learn everything you need to know about technical analysis, here's the place to do it. Someone in the comment section yesterday, one of our students said, CT2A is the Walmart of cryptocurrency because you can get everything you need there, and I thought that was hilarious. Guys, look, whether Bitcoin's rallying or crashing, there's money to be made. People don't understand that. When Bitcoin is moving to the upside, it's very easy to make money, but when it's going down, you can short just as easily as you can long, guys. It's low volatile periods that you don't want to see, and lately, Bitcoin has been very volatile, which means there's a lot of money to be made if you know how to make it. If you want to be profitable in these markets, you need to educate yourself. You need to know what you're doing. That's what CT2A is for. The link is in the description down below. You're more than welcome to ask me questions in the comments. You can email me at cryptojeb@gmail.com. You guys can get in touch with me on Discord. You can join our free Discord server and talk to me and some of our students over there to see what they have to say. But guys, there is a lot of content in this course, and I'm looking to start the revision to CT2A next week. I'm finishing planning out the new course and everything this week. So if you guys want to get access to all current and future content, go ahead and join us with the link in the description. There's a 14-day money-back refund guarantee, and yes, you can pay with Bitcoin. But anyway, guys, before we go, I do first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.